So what have a prime minister, a chief justice, and a legendary cricket captain all got in common? Well, they were all shaped by the very same institution, a place that for over 100 years has been a powerhouse right in the heart of Pakistan. Today, we're going to trace the incredible story of Emerson University. So let's set the scene. Our story starts in Multan, the ancient city of saints, a place just steeped in history and culture. Honestly, it's the perfect backdrop for an institution that's become a cornerstone of the region's intellectual life. And right there, in this historic city, you'll find this modern engine of leadership and creativity. We're talking about a place that has produced some of the most influential figures in the nation's entire history. But here's the thing. It didn't start out as this big deal university. Its story begins way back, over a century ago, as a small college in British India. So how on earth did it become the powerhouse it is today? That's the question we're going to dig into. So where did it all begin? Okay, so the story really kicks off during the British Raj, a time when new schools and colleges were popping up all across the subcontinent. The date you need to remember is April 13th, 1920. That's the day Government College Multan opened its doors. And this was a huge deal. It was the very first institution of its kind in the city, a real beacon of higher learning for the entire region. This timeline here gives you a great snapshot of its early days. So it was founded in 1920, right? Then a key moment comes in 1933 when it gets renamed Emerson College. That was a nod to the governor of Punjab at the time, Sir Herbert William Emerson, who was a big champion for education. Then, of course, the college had to weather the massive upheaval of partition in 47, and by 1963, it was getting so big it had to move to its current, much larger campus to make room for all the students. Now, after the partition of India, the college entered what many people consider its golden age. It really started to build a reputation that would last for decades. It earned this really cool nickname, a feeder institution. So what does that even mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Emerson College became the super reliable pipeline for talent, feeding graduates directly into Pakistan's elite Central Superior Services, or the CSS. Now, if you're not familiar, the CSS is basically the country's top-tier civil service, the people who shape policy and run the nation. For a brand new country, having an institution that was consistently producing these leaders was absolutely critical. And I mean, just look at this list on your screen. It shows you just how wide that legacy spreads. We're talking about a former prime minister and a former chief justice of the Supreme Court. Then you've got a cricket legend like Inzamam-ul-Haq. But the impact wasn't just in politics. It went deep into Pakistan's culture, too, with famous poets, novelists, and even legendary actors from Lollywood, Pakistan's film industry, all having walked its halls. But, as the 21st century rolled on, the needs of the region and the country were changing. And that set the stage for the institution's biggest transformation yet. 2021. This was the pivotal year. In May, the Punjab Assembly passed the Emerson University Multan Act. And with that, after more than a century as a college, it was officially elevated to a full-fledged university. Now, this wasn't just a simple name change. It was a huge strategic jump into the future. Upgrading to Emerson University Multan gave it the autonomy it needed to innovate. It unlocked crucial funding for advanced research, and it really positioned it to meet the academic demands of a whole new generation in South Punjab. So what does this modern university look like today? Let's take a little peek at its current size and how it's structured. Today, UAM is this buzzing academic world. As you can see, it's organized into 4 big faculties, and they cover everything from hard sciences and business to emerging tech, and of course, its traditional strengths in the humanities. This structure is key. It shows an institution that's not just preserving its legacy, but actively building on it, offering over 40 degree programs across 32 departments to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Now, when we look at the student numbers, different sources give a pretty wide range, anywhere from about 5,000 up to maybe 18,000. But while the exact number might shift, the main point is crystal clear. Emerson University is a massive educational hub, serving a huge and diverse population in South Punjab. And what's especially important here is the changing face of that student body. Female enrollment has surged, now making up over 40% of all students. That's way more than just a statistic. It's a powerful sign of increasing access to higher education for women in the region. And this is the philosophy that's really driving the modern university. Its mission is focused on tangible results. Empowering graduates to start a business, expand a family enterprise, or land a great job. It's a really practical vision that still holds on to that core ideal, personal development to become a better human being. So, after 100 years of evolution, what's the lasting impact of this institution? Let's try to bring it all together. The impact is just multifaceted. It's still a key pipeline for the civil service, just like it was in its golden age. It's the primary hub for higher education in its region and a serious contributor to research, publishing over 150 papers a year. And get this, its library alone holds over 100,000 books. That's a monumental resource for knowledge. At the end of the day, this is a story of remarkable growth. It went from a small colonial college with just a handful of programs to a modern, complex research university. And in many ways, its journey really mirrors the journey of the nation itself. And that leaves us with a final thought. After building such an incredible legacy over the last 100 years, the really big question now is, how will Emerson University continue to adapt and innovate to shape the next generation of leaders for a totally new world?